It's time for your daily crypto update with Framework Fortune Crypto. I'm your host, Ben. Now let's dive in. So Bitcoin still riding down this sharp downtrend. It is trying to test right now to break. Looks like 38,000 is trying to hold as some support. I'd said it would probably pull back to 37, but if it holds 38, that would be fine. Nothing wrong with that. If it doesn't break the trend line, it could drop down to that 37 area to this 200 day. So still a little indecision on it at the moment, but not looking terrible. Ethereum cracking out of this triangle up here at the tip, coming back down, bouncing off of that 2400 and the 50 day, like I was expecting to happen, trying to curl back up and get over the 10-day moving average, getting held up there, but we're holding pretty nicely here between 2450 and 2500, so I would expect it to break back above 2500 here in the next 8 to 16 hours. Cardano breaking its downtrend right here, pushing back up. We need to see it push over the tops of these peaks here and start testing that 140, but making a nice run here in the last 10 hours, trying to push up to that 140. Cardano's got very nice consistent volume. Today's top gainer is Mask, only up 10% after another big pop up to 590, getting rejected. Pulling back to this little $5.15, $5 area that has held as support through here a little bit. 10-day is at 506. So it looks like it may come down some more. Maybe like the 490 for a little test of that $5, and then it could do another curl like this for a push up, because it did make a higher high. So we're making higher highs right here, right here, right here, and higher lows. Low, low, low. So Mass does look like it's getting ready here soon for a pretty decent sized breakout. CGLD, I'm still holding. It did its little curl, bounced off that 50 day. Push back up to 280. We're getting held up at that little resistance line right there. That's kind of 275 area. You see those upper wicks of selling pressure. So it needs some big buying volume to come in here and push through this 280, 290 area to get up to 3. And 3 is going to be big resistance too. That was my profit target, and I'm still waiting on that. Theta breaking out to the downside of this triangle, but kind of the same thing, pulling back up here, currently above all the EMAs, but it needs to continue to push up, so this 10-day and the 50 will drag above the 200. Could still get hung up at this 200, but it's definitely testing. May see it try to test 6 here by the end of the night for another possible move up. If it doesn't come up and test 6, it'll probably pull back down to this 560 area that's held as pretty decent support so far. Mana was one I was saying to keep on watch, and to me it's still looking pretty decent. Pushing back up to the 70 cents. Break a 75, Mana could run back up to $1. It is making a nice consolidation pattern here. Something is going to happen on this very soon. Either a nice big push up or a big drop down. ANKR did get up there, tested 10 cents. So if you played ANKR, I was alerting it down here in this 6 to 7 cent area, but it's continued to run all the way up to that 10. Trying to hold 9, a little bit of 9.5 too, as some support. If it can hold there, it'll curl back up and test 10. If it doesn't hold here, it's going to drop back down to the 50 day at this 8.5 area, which should be pretty strong support, and then we could see it bounce back up. Cosmos Atom still not getting the action that it needs to get to break out. It had gotten up to 15, but since then has just really been lagging behind a lot of the other altcoins. Got this little downtrend started, so it's got to come up, re-break 13, and to push to 15, and then it's got to try to break 15. A little bit of a resistance ahead of it. I do still think Cosmos Atom will get back up to its higher levels. It's just taking a lot longer to break up than some of these other ones. So if it doesn't hold $12 here, it could start going back bearish, which means it would come back to this $10, $11 area again, which has been a very strong buying area. So even if it does, we should see a bounce off there again. Balancer is a DeFi platform. This one is coming up to its downtrend, testing. If it can break that downtrend, Balancer could get going again. See volume starting to ramp up. And before the big sell-off, Balancer was all the way up at $70. So $20 is pretty decent price for Balancer. 15 is a really good price if it comes back down to those lows again. Most likely it's not going to though. But once it breaks at 25, it could run up to 30 and then maybe even 35 before it starts running into some resistance to slow it down. But definitely want to keep on watch, as it hasn't really broke out yet in this recent push that we've been having. Polkadot holding $17 as support. See, it's kind of already broken this downtrend, so that's a good sign there. Just needs to pop back above this 10-day, and we'll see Polkadot continue to ride up, test 20 again, and probably break out here soon. If it can get that break at 20, it is a lot of resistance right through 20 because this will support back through here. Then it could really move back up to like 25, 30, something like that. But strong resistance at $20 that we got to get through. Doesn't seem like it would have much of a pullback if it does drop, because you got this support line at 17, 50-day at 1650, and 200-day at 1550, and then support at 15. So plenty of support under Polkadot. I like it in these areas. Farm, this really volatile one, has came all the way back down below 200, just shot up and dropping back down, riding down this trend line. Until it breaks back across this trend line, it could continue to sell off. Just 5 days ago, this was $100, so it could easily continue to drop. But I still think it's one to keep an eye on if you're a day trader, because even in the drops, there's pops up that you can possibly get some nice bounce plays on. Filecoin holding up that 200-day. 50-day is almost to the 200-day. We do have a little downtrend like some of the other plays, but holding that 200 pretty strong so far. I do think Filecoin is going to try to push back up to 60 by the end of the week. So I am still holding this swing as well. Polygon did come back down to $1, testing $1 support again. $1 needs to hold here. If the dollar cracks, this is going to drop back down to this 95-cent area. That's not what we want to see on Polygon. We want it to continue its upward momentum. So it needs to hold $1, curl back up, and this time on the curl up, break over 110 for that move up to 120. Because we tested twice already on this consolidation. The 10-day is still above the 50 and the 200. The 50 and 200 are just sitting on each other. That's acting as a little resistance here, so if buying volume comes in a little bit, we should see that push. But if for some reason it doesn't break, then expect that drop down. So NMR got a big old spike up to 53, and this was one I was saying to keep on watch during this consolidation. I actually missed this spike. I didn't know it did this move, but that just happened yesterday. And then it immediately sold back off, back down to the 50-day. Now the stock market was down some today, so that's probably why it pulled back, because it is that stock-related AI trading platform. If it continue to climb up and hold this 50-day here, we could see it curl around and then come back up for another pop-up. But that's why I was saying keep this one on watch, because it does have explosive potential. StormX had a climb all the way back up to that 2.5 area where we were talking about. Holding up 2 cents. Now it's back above 2 cents. We know it loves to stay above 2 cents. It likes that area. So we could see it continue to ride on 2 cents. But with this upward momentum, if it gets a bounce here, we could see it back up to that 2.5 testing. I do think we'll see StormX at 3 probably by the end of the month, maybe sooner. So that's all the coins I'm going to cover for today. I forgot to mention yesterday that the Coinbase debit card is now available for people to start applying for. If you've been on that wait list like I have for a while, it is now over with. So be sure to go apply for your Coinbase debit card. I do think this is big news for Coinbase users, because now that you can have a debit card that will be accepted at any place that accepts debit cards, you don't have to have a bank account. You can just have a crypto Coinbase account. And I think that's going to be big leading into the adoption of cryptos. So if you haven't seen that yet, go to Coinbase. Make sure you get your card. There was the news about Voyager yesterday, the Voyager token. I've not been able to find a chart on it really on TradingView, but Voyager token did have a big spike after all that news that they acquired Coinify. It ran from about $1.80 or $2, something like that, all the way up to $3.50. Currently right around that $3 area. So if there's any coins that I'm not currently covering on a weekly basis that you'd like me to cover, leave them in the comments below and let me know your thoughts on all this good hype we're getting out of PR and the overall direction of the crypto market. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. Stay safe out there. Until next time.